Okay, today what I am doing is a fairly benign project. I am going to replace the spark plugs on this 2011 Dodge Grand Caravan. And because the van has almost 200,000 miles on it, I'm going to go ahead and replace all of the coils. And I'm doing that. Normally I don't replace coils at 200,000 miles. Really haven't had too many issues with the coils that Chrysler uses, which I don't know what they are, if they're NGK or what they are, but in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and replace the coils because they're buried beneath the intake. It's hard to access. If everything was on top, I would, I might just carry a coil in the car with me, and if something happened, I could quickly pop it in. But with this engine, that's not the case. So there. Two nuts here that need to come out, and then we got to take the bolts out for the intake, the upper, and then this should lift off. What else do we got? Oh, we got one more bolt down here at the bottom. Two. Gonna fight me the whole way. There. All right. So we're not going to do a whole lot with this. However, I bought a new gasket for the throttle body, and I'm just going to kind of clean this up. Make sure that it continues to work nicely, hopefully for the next umpteen thousand miles. Nice clean valves. course, this isn't direct injection, so we don't have that. All right, they are kind of nasty looking. That's why we're replacing them. I replaced these in 2015, and these are Denso iridium. So I ended up going with NGK. Hopefully, well, now I kind of wish I went with Denso. If I had gone with Denso before, these worked out really nice, but yeah, I guess I don't know. I've always had decent success with NGK. We have the NGK Laser Iridium, which is a step up. Okay, I'm putting these on dry. I used to, back in the day, put on anti-seize, and I came across a technical bulletin from NGK that is basically saying don't do that. Along with don't put dielectric grease on the coil boots. So I don't know if that was specific to the vehicle I was reading it on, but it didn't seem specific. So I'm gonna just put these on dry and go from there. Not as much crud on this one. Doesn't look too bad. Click. All right, now for the next part. All right, brand new NGK coil, hopefully. So the only thing I'm gonna do here is we're gonna just kind of clean up the surface where the coil boot ends up attaching itself. Okay, so this thing, it has some type of goo on it from the factory, so this thing seems crunchy. These coil boots were replaced when I did the last tune-up, which was, I think, 2015. Look pretty decent. These coils are probably fine, but I really don't want to go back into this and do more work. So this one doesn't look too bad. Yeah, this one, this is interesting. It seems to have a fair amount of like little bits of carbon. Dendrites. Looks like little dendrites. Oh, we got Mike's Subaru. I have a whole collection of these. So, there you go. I did not clean spark plug tubes. All right, we are installed. So the next step here is going to be, I need to take off our throttle body and give it a good cleaning, and then we'll put it back on with a new gasket. All right, we're gonna take this off here. All right, so all I'm doing here, I'm gonna go out, I'm just gonna clean the back side of this. I'm gonna clean the front side of this, and we'll kind of give it a wipe down here. I'm not gonna screw around with the throttle, and hopefully here we'll get it cleaned up so that way we don't have any issues down the road. The only thing I'm trying to avoid is a situation where the carbon builds up and it prevents the throttle plate from opening and closing correctly, and then it essentially sets a code and throws the car into a limp mode situation. So just trying to ensure our reliability is intact. Oh, the throttle body's clean, and I'm just going to go back together with it on the intake, and then we can I can put the intake back on the car and start reassembling everything. Just got to remember how this goes. It goes this way. Alright, we're going to pop these out quick. They don't look bad. I probably could reuse them. All right, we're going to put that on because the first time that I did a tune-up on this back in 2015, I forgot to put this on, and I had to take the intake all the way back apart to put this back on. So I don't make the same mistake twice. That. Connect that. Okay. All right, we are connected. All right, so put our air box back in. There we go. One thing I forgot to do here in the front is we need to put these two nuts on. Okay, I think we have done everything we needed to do here. Next step is going to be, we're going to start this up, make sure it runs correctly, and then take it on a test drive. Well, I don't know. So far, so good. I think we'll take it on a quick rip and call it good.